updated red black. Nothing too crazy. I think the big thing is we're playing main deck Terminates, and then we're splitting Lightning Bolt and Unholy Heat 3/3, which feels like a good split to me. I'm also down to 1 Tourach, so I can still keep 3 Kolaghan's commands. Yeah, so nothing too crazy here, but I mean, I don't think that you're supposed to get too crazy. We've been doing so well with this deck that I don't really want to try to reinvent the wheel just to reinvent it. You know what I mean? Has Tourach been medium? I think Tourach's been very good. I've liked it. I think that I would like to have the third Kolaghan's command as another like kind of grindy card before the first Tourach or before the second Tourach, and I wanted to fit one extra removal spell into the deck because the metagame is very creature heavy at the moment. You're still on Terminate over Dreadbore. Well, I don't. Terminate is instant speed, while Dreadbore is sorcery speed, which is super relevant against Titan and super relevant against the Murktide decks. And it's also very relevant against Ragavan. It's also true that you have 3 Unholy Heats, so you already have 3 like good answers to Planeswalkers, anyways, right? It's not about the regeneration. It's about the instant versus sorcery speed, which matters a ton. Like especially against Titan. Holding Dreadbore against a Titan deck that's just like getting to haste Titan you is, it's just death. Oh, this is the first time I've had this hand, double Graven Cairns. Let's keep this one. Oh, Chalice versus Voidmere. Yeah. It's just like, I think, I mean, having the second copy in play matters a lot because like they board in Foundation Breaker. All right, let's keep the Dragon Regis Channeler. Sacred Foundry, Esper Sentinel. Interesting. We playing against like red-white taxes. I think I'm kind of interested in. Yeah, let me just go Kroxa this turn, and then next turn we can go Darcy, Bolt, pay for Sentinel. With 1 Chalice and 1 Mirror on the side, you're really unlikely to draw both. Yeah, but once you had the third copy, you're more likely to draw 2. Raging Ravine? What the hell? Well, I mean, that's good use for Raging Ravine. How do you feel about the matchup with Blue-Red Murktide? I feel like we don't pressure them a ton early. We lose to multiple 2-for-1s. But we have multiple 2-for-1s in our deck too. I think the matchup's like I think totally fine if you play the Terminates. I'm not sure exactly the right number of Terminates to play. They have a second Raging Ravine. And so if we bolt here, we can pay for 1 Sentinel, and then this becomes Delirious. We could block the other one, and then try to escape Kroxa next turn. Yeah, I guess we just play Naya cards, huh? Naya Brew, Naya cards I own, Naya Trade Binder. Like we can race Kaldra. Then maybe if they leave Kaldra back to block, it'd be a bit difficult. I mean, just spending my turn to Terminate seems so bad, though. They discard Batterskull? I do inverse Kaldra. You just play around it. Like they probably can't attack it very well here. Although Unholy Heat is makes things a lot more difficult. Oh my gosh. Yeah, right on time, Ragavan. Well, this is brutal. I guess maybe I just maybe I should have killed the Stoneforge mistake, but that was our whole turn if we pay for Sentinel. I don't know, I think it's fine to not play around Heat. It's not hard to play around Naya stuff, right? think we found the line. 104.3A. Hope they cast Wild Mikado. Hell yeah. Oh, my opponent's gonna just crush me with Sanctifier, aren't they? They're just gonna crush me with Sanctifier. I'll bring in a Spellbomb. I'm just like, I mean, how am I supposed to sideboard? Playing against Naya. Yeah. I suppose this is also a hedge against Sanctifier. Voidwalker's probably, or Tourach's probably pretty good. Pro white, I imagine, matters. What's the idea behind dropping Lego start 0-2? If I'm gonna win my next 3 matches, I'd way rather be 3-0 than 3-2. Just it's better EV, I think, because I value the time you spend. I think people don't like factor that in very much. I made that change like a while ago, and I've been pretty happy with it. Try this. And maybe trim on Voidwalker. I don't know. I haven't played against too many Naya Trade Binder decks. Classic hand 2, basic swamp, double 1-drop. Let's go to Mulligan. Hand's way better. We put back Kolaghan's commands. They got IOK. I feel like IOK is better than Thoughtseize in this matchup. But I mean, who knows, right? Who knows what this matchup is like? How about Ingress Rampage? I think Ingress Rampage sucks. I've never liked that card very much. And if you're only suggesting Ingress Rampage because we got paired against a Cauldron Complete, I also think that you're not supposed to play against a card like Cauldron. And, you know, I don't like, just like, it's not a good answer to Cauldron. It is an answer to Cauldron. But I've been saying this a lot today, and I feel like chat needs to hear this. If you are trying to play decks like this and you try to beat everything, that's a good way to like lose percentage points in matchups that actually matter. The land on top. Yeah, if you're trying to play a deck like this and you're just trying to literally beat everything, maybe I should have tried to actually offer the trade of Darcy for Sentinel. Probably would have been a good trade for me. If you try to be able to like have answers for literally everything, and you have like one Ingress Rampage to maybe kill Cauldron Complete, all of a sudden you have Ingress Rampage and not Terminate when your opponent casts Primeval Titan with an Amulet in play. This is I think the player reward promo Terminate. I bought these this morning to play the deck. I feel like when you first built this Red Black Monkey deck, it seemed good. Somehow it feels not that good anymore. I think that's what happens when you play against Naya Tradebinder, right? And you get top decked out of the game by the Living In deck. You flat out, like, you know, we played 3 matches today, right? We played against Naya Tradebinder, which is probably not a terrible matchup, right? We got top decked out of the Living In match, and then we got flooded in game 3 of the Shadow matchup. And what definitely happens when you just like lose a couple matches in a row, chat just tends to get like very results oriented, and they go, oh no, the deck's bad now. The deck's bad now. We lost to Floods in top deck, which is like, I mean, any deck is capable. I mean, I feel like I sound like, you know, I sound like very I sound like I'm whining, but like I think if you're gonna evaluate like why we lost those matches, it's just like I'm just not too worried about it. We lost in a way that any deck can lose. You know what I mean? Every deck can run bad. It's also true that we... Wait, is there a black bar on the bottom of the screen? I thought that I cropped it out. Is there actually a black bar and nobody said anything? Dude, rest in peace is so brutal here. King of the Limbs, thank you for your Twitch Prime subscription. Appreciate ya. Oh my gosh. Nobody. I thought that I was just cropping out the taskbar, and then nobody said anything. Just because the taskbar has been super weird. But it's also definitely true. Oh no, this was. Let's now need to draw Kolaghan's command. It's also definitely true that like even like when we were playing the deck for the first time, we were running super duper well with it. We were running so well with it, like better than like we should have been. Why play Darcy before IOK? Would you say that'd be the line most of the time? Well, I want to get the value off the Surveil from the Darcy, especially because I took the mulligan this game. I would like to filter my draws a little bit. So there are Rin 6, Rest in Peace deck, which is fine. Yeah, we had like this absurd match win rate for a while. You know, we're kind of just due to take some L's. Rest in Peace does beat Voidwalker. There's no way I'm supposed to block and bolt, right? Just supposed to draw Kolaghan's command. Terminate. I mean, Voidwalker is like, you know, not like the worst cards we could find here. Yeah, it's definitely true that the meta has adjusted, absolutely. I guess we die to Lightning Bolt if we don't block and bolt now. My opponent, if they have bolt, they might just bolt my Luris, though. Yeah, this deck is also, I think, back on the up and up because of Hammer Time. Yeah, the matchup's very good against Hammer. Yeah, I think we're unfortunately supposed to block and bolt here. And then maybe they are like pretty flooded and we can just win by attacking with Voidwalkers for 3 turns in a row. Although they could replay their Batterskull here, so we're probably gonna need to draw. Third Voidwalker doesn't do it, just Kolaghan's command. Any merit to not playing the Kroxa here? I have a Murktide's Hammertide matchup. Hammer felt unbeatable. Well, in my Murktide deck, I'm playing like 3 Alpine Moons and like a bunch of Shattering Sprees in the sideboard. So I feel like it's bad game 1, and then you have like a favorable matchup in sideboard games. Is your removal mostly just burn? Well, I have 3 Kolaghan's commands and 2 Terminates. And the discard spells are also pretty good against them, I think. And in the sideboard, I've got Explosives, Alpine Moon, Shattering Spree. Matchup's good. It's not unlosable, but it's favorable. Alright, Kolaghan's command is definitely how we can get back into this. They discarded Tarmogoyf. Nice nice deck. Nice deck. Tarmogoyf. Rest in peace. Rin 6-2 apparently. They never win though, of course. See if we draw Kolaghan's command. Yeah, Alpine Moon is way better against Hammer Time than Blood Moon. Moving on. Maybe Blue Ride. Yeah. Also, the Archmage's Charm variant has a favorable Hammer Time matchup. I just don't understand. The Archmage's Charm variant is better in the mirror, and it's better against Hammer Time, and it's like, I think it's better game 1 against Titan. It's maybe Murktide's better game 2 because they have Blood Moon, or the Blood Moon variants are better games 2 and 3. But just like, it's also better against Red Black. I just don't understand why people aren't playing the Charm version. I see JRT's Luris list. Yeah, I thought it was cool. I do like think it's playing way too many Snapcasters. Like I think I might be playing actual 0 Snapcasters in that deck, but, and I say this as someone who loves Snapcaster Mage. 4 is way too many in that deck. Gameplay with console versus Force better. I saw stuff on YouTube. Well, the problem with Force is that you, I think, have like just too few. Okay, nice to have Voidwalker on the play against Yawgmoth. The problem with Force is I think you have too few blue cards. So I would recommend Constable. I would recognize, and you also like can play Thalia without Force, which is nice. Isn't he blue mostly for snap? Well, I think the main reason to be blue is expressive iteration, and I think Drown in the Lock is also more of a reason to be blue than Snapcaster Mage. But it's also true that I think that that as cool as the deck is, Rakdos is better than Grixis. So I think I'm gonna go upkeep, terminate, try to find a red source to bolt the Hierarch. Second Voidwalker is good, but I think I'm gonna graveyard it. Game 1, so no Veil of Summer. They make green anyways. They got a cord for Dryad Arbor. Pretty good actually. So this gives us Delirium. They have a Stringergeist on top. I was supposed to save the Terminate for Yawgmoth. I don't know. Tremulous matchup, better matchup against having tighter mana curve. Hammer Timer is the top does change that. I think Charber is better for now. I agree. I agree. Yeah, that seems to be like the same evaluation I have. I do think that it will ebb and flow as time goes on. So they're gonna sack their mana dorks to kill Voidwalker and then unlock their Young Wolf. Be kind of painful if they do that. We'll have 5 points of burn plus 2, 7. They'll go 1, 2, 3. Seki Seasons guy, yeah, that's the card. Yeah, it's always layers. We know that they have Stranglegeist in their hand too. Maybe do this. What deck was I playing when I had my first really big success? Success is weird, you know what I mean? Do I want Wall of Roots or do I want Young Wolf? I guess I just want the... I don't want Young Wolf because if they kill it, they get it back, actually. I don't know, success is weird to define. You know, I played a Grixis Delver deck that Caleb D built, and I took that to a first place finish at my first ever PPTQ, and then I lost my win and into top 8 of my first ever GP with it, at GP OKC. When he's in stack, does it see instant in the yard? No, it does not. Not when it's on the stack. Vidosi, 7 months, appreciate ya. The spells, this last thing spells do is resolve, so it's not done resolving by the time it's eating. Long last your stream is the first thing that shows my browser when I type TW. Awesome. It's a big accomplishment. I don't have too many sideboard cards for Yawgmoth. I think I do like the 4th Thoughtseize against them. I don't really like explosives that much against Yawgmoth. Their creatures are really resilient. The card's kind of slow too. I think I'll go ahead and just cut a Kolaghan's command. You think you can go 21 lands for a black, fit a last bolt in? You can, although it's like this deck has so many mana sinks with Lurrus and Kroxa that I don't think it's good to cut any lands. You have a ton of mana sinks. I think that if you're playing Lurrus, it's good to be a little heavier on mana. Okay, it's hard to mulligan a hand with Voidwalker. We're gonna keep. Yeah, but yeah, with Kroxa, Lurrus, even Ragavan can be a good mana sink. I mean, although it can generate mana too. I've been liking 22. Cutting your 4 drops just goes one way. Can you go 21, 22 lands? Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's good. I put together a Stoneblade list that I haven't played yet. I might just like never play it, to be honest. It kind of looks a little underwhelming. But I put together a Jeskai Stoneblade deck that's playing Sanctifier and not playing any 4 drops. And then playing Prismatic Ending as 1 mana removal spell. And I was also playing Darcy Bauble over the Stoneforge Mystic package, which might not be good. I don't know. Oh, I feel like we have got to kill that. Let's see what they're drawing. Messenger on top. So hopefully we can Inquisition that next turn. I'd like to find a land and go Voidwalker Inquisition. I was doing Darcy Packard Stoneforge to land. Yeah, I think you could do that. My biggest issue with Darcy and Stoneforge, and maybe that's a good way to do it, but my biggest issue with that build is that if you're ever surveil over your graveyard that. If you surveil over your equipments, it can be awkward. But maybe it's like less awkward than I think it is. So my opponent has Messenger in hand. They just like can't cast it. I'm a bit worried about Veil of Summer too. And we also know that they are not drawing a land, which means that they can't Yawgmoth next turn. Unless they have Eldritch Evolution. Oh, they can't do that anyways because they have Yawgmoth. So the one unknown card was a land. So now we can Inquisition their Messenger next turn and cast it with Voidwalker. Probably not. Hold up Terminate, looks like. Gonna be the line. Gonna shuffle before I get my Surveil. I guess we're a little behind in the race. We can probably catch up. Oh, we're not actually not even behind. We're technically winning. How does Asmo in the graveyard work with Lurrus? I think you still have to discard to cast it. I'd have to reread Asmo if it specifies from hand or not. So now, I don't think that they've drawn Chord of Calling. I think I'll just go ahead and fire off Terminate. It's bad if they drew Veil. Graveyard. Card was Twilight Mire. Yeah, Voidwalker, like, this matchup is terrible without Voidwalker, but Voidwalker is very good against them. It's a little slow on the draw and the blind. Probably not supposed to mulligan, though. Here's 0, Grief Ephemerate, perhaps. Good draw. So I know that I'm going to get a basic Swamp and Inquisition this turn, so I'm not going to Bauble myself. Because there's no way. There's like no card I would see on top that I would not do this. I'm gonna Bubble. So Inquisition them to have information about what they're drawing. But this is definitely a deck, huh? If I Voidwalker here, we do kind of get got by... I mean, even if they draw a white card, it's like they're spending 3 cards to answer my Voidwalker, and they get a Solitude on play, but then I just Kolaghan's command it. I think they have another Silent Clearing that I didn't click away. Also, I guess they're just gonna... I guess they're just going to sack their Silent Clearing. So we can Inquisition their Malakir Rebirth, I guess. Malakir Rebirth, they drew Grief. Combo assembled. I guess, I mean, they get to Grief, discard my Kolaghan's command. Almost one of those lures there. I think I like keep putting the pressure forward a bit more. It's like if we discard their Malakir Rebirth, they need to draw a white card plus they can't get back their Solitude. So like to blow us out. Their hand is Silent Clearing, Solitude, Grief. I'm just gonna exit out of this. Magical Mind's a nightmare. Or she got Basic Mountain, shouldn't really matter. So now if they discard their keep Ragavan. Although this gives me Delirium. Yeah, I'll just take Delirium actually. They discard Grief, I'll Grief them. Yeah. And Grief is so good. think most decks look pretty good against this black-white deck.
Grief and Lurrus in play? What?
Yeah, the Naya trade binder Grief matchup's probably super interesting. I need to bring in the Spellbomb. Yeah, maybe a bit hypocritical. Although, I mean, I actually feel like the black-white deck is unplayable, and I think that like the Demi Lich deck is playable. Maybe a bit hypocritical of me to dig into them like this. I think I just got the Terminates. Spellbombs are for the pro-white creatures. Sanctifier and Vec is the big one. I think the black-white deck is so absurdly overrepresented. I mean, it's overrepresented because it had all this hype coming into Mage 2, and people thought it would be like a good deck to play. And there are some people who are also hyping it up, you know, playing it a little bit, and the deck isn't good at all. You know what I mean? Yeah, the deck is just not a good deck. It's like, you know, when you go Grief Ephemerate on turn 1, that is a good start, but I'm gonna hold the Bauble for Darcy. But the problem is, it's like when you Grief Ephemerate or you grief Undying Evil, which is just card parity, you're putting both players in a spot where you're top decking, right? But your top decks are so bad because you have a bunch of Solitudes, Griefs, Undying Evils, Malakir Rebirths, and maybe other discard spells depending on how you build it. Your top decks are so bad, and you're put in your whole deck. The goal of it is to just put you into a spot where both players are top decking. Yo, I'm glad I brought in the Spellbomb. Problem is I have to actually draw it. I haven't tested Bob. I mean, the thing is, Bob and Tourach are both good in the same matchups. Bob and Tourach are both good against like specifically decks against non-red decks, really. And I think that they're like both have advantages and disadvantages, but like just thinking about matchup spread, I think you side out you'll side out Bob's in roughly the same matchups you would side out your Tourachs. I think it's just like personal preference. They pitch another Core Firewalker. A Kingdom for Pyrite Spellbomb. Alright, so I'm gonna go Darcy, Bauble, Trigger. Or sorry, Darcy, Bauble, Trigger. And then I'm gonna Unholy Heat. Probably the Solitude when they go to rebound their Ephemerate, and I'm gonna lose to another 1-mana protection spell. But I think that I'm so behind, I don't have the luxury of playing around that. But I don't want them to get value off the Ephemerating Charming Prince either. Graveyard that. Pretty close to Delirium, but we can't get. I guess we need to have a Voidwalker in the graveyard to actually get Delirium. Oh, sorry, this isn't. This is Core Firewalker. This isn't Sanctifier. I guess I'm just used to playing around Sanctifier. Why did you choose to put in Spellbomb or Kozilek's return? Yeah, the main reason is the Lurrus interaction. I think that matters more. It's also true that Kozilek's return kills Voidwalker, kills Ragavan, which is different for like the prowess creature decks where you don't have that anti-synergy. Because like it doesn't kill any of your prowess creatures, but it kills a lot of my creatures. It actually often kills Channeler too, because if you're killing Sanctifier, your Channeler can't have Delirium. But it's also just nice being recurring with Lurrus matters a lot too. I don't want to undersell that part of the card too. Got Lurrus here. 2E are not enough. I don't like Pyrite Spellbomb is a bit of a more focused answer. You could maybe just play a third EE. But EE is like, you know, a 4-mana answer as opposed to a 2-mana answer. So that's, you know, some tension. I think the first Spellbomb is pretty good, but it is also kind of hard to find room for. Maybe I could have kept Bauble. They have a Fatal Push on top, but they don't have Revolt. Yeah. If I look how behind my opponent is here, and they got to Ephemerate Solitude, draw 2 sideboard cards. And did I mulligan? I don't think I mulliganed. So I'm not. I guess maybe I should have Unholy Heated the Charming Prince on my turn. Actually, yeah, I should have done that. I don't think I mulled this. Maybe I did mull the 6 this game. I can't remember. I did. Okay, yeah, and I mulligan. So just for them to be like so like they're behind now. We've even drawn more lands than our opponent has. Just I play whatever deck you want to play. That's really is the most important thing, is that you play the deck that you want to play, of course. I could keep Void. But I wouldn't recommend playing the black-white deck. If you're looking for a competitive deck. Guess you can't play Sanctifier though, because it shuts off Undying Evil Rebirth. That's true, yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess that makes sense when they're playing Firewalker. Fairness, sideboard card they drew didn't do a ton. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Firewalker's pretty good against us. Shinka would be really good. It'd be fine. I think it's good enough. Better to bottom it. Daniel, you can exclamation point deck and chat in the deck list. Oh, gotta spell it right though. And it also kind of feels like to some extent people are building their decks with Prismatic Ending in mind. So like Prismatic Ending is, you know, maybe not going to just be the nuts forever. Well, straight red green mid range. Well, just Ponza is fine, yeah. Assuming that's the deck you're talking about. My opponent's not gonna force of negation my Mishra's Bauble, are they? We have a Darcy on top. I'll want to draw that, and then I think I'm gonna Heat here over Bolt. Sometimes you want to save Heat for Murktide, but it's possible that they Darcy on turn 2 with Delirium, and then which is not like they'd have to go like Thought Scour Darcy or something. But if I can't Bolt a second Darcy, it's a pretty bad thing. I mean, so kind of Ragavan, Darcy, Tarmogoyf, Fred, and 6 pile. Well, we've kind of touched on this idea already today. I'll reiterate kind of my opinion. Oh, I guess I should have fetched for Delirium, because that could maybe dodge Heat. Oh, well, I guess I was dying to get shot anyways. Are they playing? They're playing Demi-Lich, aren't they? Yeah, I think they're playing Demi-Lich. Yeah, I've kind of touched on this idea already, but it is my opinion that if you are playing iteration, what's this? Chart of Course? Manamorphose? If you're playing a red-green deck, just a red-green mid-range deck, without Blood Moons, without Pillages, your clock is not fast enough to race decks that don't care about just creature combat, playing removal spells like control decks, big mana, Titan, combo decks. They just don't care about what you're doing. And I think I want to Luris here, right? I guess I could maybe Kolaghan's Command. I think I want Luris in hand. Yeah, they just like don't care about what you're doing, and your clock is not fast enough to race them, and you have to be reliant on like drawing sideboard cards to win games, which is just not like a good plan because you're red green and your sideboard cards aren't good enough. So you like, I think for most mid-range decks, you need to play either counter spells or discard spells or Blood Moons to have a chance to beat on strategies like that. Good morning, Simon. Bit worried about casting Inquisition into another Faithless Salvaging. Oh, their card is just Lightning Bolt. I'm just gonna Lightning Bolt their guy, then upkeep Kolaghan's Command, get back Darcy, make them discard. Morning, Cling to Dust. Yeah, it is true that there's less Tron right now. It's like there are less of these kinds of decks, so you could play a deck like this, but you just like you lose so many percentage points in matchups like the ones I'm describing. They do get to bolt me, but just getting the bolt out of their hand I think is really important here. Played 2 Modern Leagues and played versus 10 Stoneforge decks? That's crazy. Should we let I resolve the discard? Well, I don't think so, because then they could discard like Phoenix or Demi-Lich or Lava Dart, and this like guarantees we get the bolt out of their hand, right? Which is what I care about. Also, an updated Qualis Scope by Reflector Mage has been a nice flex card. I feel like I don't believe in Reflector Mage, unfortunately. I'll take a look. I also like don't really believe in Queller. It's fine, maybe. Oh, them not hitting Phoenix here is so good for us. I think I'm gonna go Inquisition, and hopefully it can go Luris Bauble. Lava Dart means that if I go Luris Bauble, my Luris can die to 2 darts, but it's probably gonna have to just be an acceptable trade. We also have like a bunch of Kolaghan's commands to draw into. And just like looking at your mana base here, playing Counterspell, Prismatic Ending, Ice Fang is difficult. Maybe just 3 Counterspells is a good way to like address that problem, though. They're drawing a Mountain, which is pretty good for us. This Ragavan will die to the other Dart Flashback. Yeah, I think I'm just going to be fine trading Ragavan for their Mountain. May get a sideboard guide for this in Discord, only on CFB. For now, it's only gonna be on CFB. As the deck changes and evolves, though, I'll eventually put it up on Discord. But I just can't double dip on the content, unfortunately. And I just hope that, you know, I know that I haven't been updating on Discord. I hope that you appreciate how busy I've been, where I've been still streaming like 35, 40 hours a week, and I still have been doing like 10 hours of prep for the stream a week. And then I also been like, it's like the channel fireball stuff takes like 20 hours a week as well, and so it's just been very time consuming. So it's just kind of difficult to also like make extra content for the Discord and stuff, you know. It's been difficult to do like the channel point options. Like I'm just so behind on those. Thank you, Simon. I appreciate that. I'll keep another Voidwalker. Is Spell Snare good in the format? The biggest problem with Spell Snare is that there's a ton of Cascade decks that it's just totally dead against. I guess it's not totally dead. They have Borrowers still, actually. Ooh, we can get a Phoenix. They attack them for 3. I do think the Demi-Lich deck is a bad matchup, so I'm kind of happy that we won game 1. I'm gonna bring in Unearth, Tourach. I think Void Mirror is good against them too. Stops Lava Dart, rebounds, salvaging. Is that it, actually? It stops Demi-Lich's attack trigger. It also stops my own Baubles. It's probably fine to cut. I think I don't want to be on like just 6 discard spells. Terminate is also kind of awkward too. I meant to cut the 3rd Thoughtseize over the Inquisition. Just try this. Oh right, sorry, it doesn't stop Demi-Lich's trigger. Sorry, yeah, you're right. I think I made that evaluation back when I was first building the Demi-Lich deck, and I was thinking about Void Mirror in my own sideboard, and when I thought Demi-Lich cast the spell without paying its mana cost. And that I did definitely think Demi-Lich was a bit better back then, huh? Yeah, but it doesn't do that. I think I'm just gonna terminate the. It's just hard to let them untap with Channeler. Makes him spend a mana on Cut Shot, I guess. This is probably not worth bringing in. Mirror just works with Gut and Dark. Well, it also stops the rebound on salvaging. Probably not enough. Make blue. Amulet's is pretty scary here. They need to either play a land or 2 more spells. Or a spell and 2 lands, you know, some combination of those. Yeah, it seemed like they were trying to cast it. They didn't have a land, which is kind of unlucky in this spot, right? I'm just going to play Voidwalker Ragavan. I think people dash Ragavan way too aggressively. It's like if I were to dash Ragavan here, I'd get in for 2 damage, but I would cast Voidwalker, and then I wouldn't have this Ragavan threatening to be a big threat in play. Like yeah, I think it's just better to cast it here. But I see people dashing Ragavan, I think, again, just a bit too aggressively. Oh, we have Dart here. We do get Delirium. I don't think they're going to sack their Steam Vents to kill a Darcy here. Would I invest in Monkey and Regions? I have, actually. I've bought both of those. I did get them when they were cheaper, though. I got them pretty early. It's just up to you. I can't tell you what to do with your money, you know? It's always going to be up to you. There's no way they dart here, right? They're missing land drops. Maybe they can. I'm pretty happy making Darcy 1 mana Stone Rain, Surveil 1. Any chance of a Demilich Hollow 1 deck? Seems so hard to cast 4 spells in the Hollow 1 deck. Maybe possible. Darcy. Is it possible to make this gen? It's possible. I think it's worse, though. The green splash is like, it makes your mana a lot worse, and Tarmogoyf is kind of medium. I would if Tarmogoyf was like black or red card, I'd probably play it in the deck over Voidwalker. But just splashing for it seems kind of like nonsense. Ooh, salvaging is like their best draw possible.
Right?
Discard both the Phoenix and the Lich. They should be able to have a crazy turn here. We might be able to raise. We found Voidwalker to be nuts in the Blue-Eyed Murktide matchup, or just decent. It's just decent. People keeps talking about, yeah, it dies to their 1 mana removal. It's a fine card in the matchup, but certainly not nuts. They mill over another Demilich. Wow. They get a Phoenix and 2 Phoenixes and 2 Liches. Yeah, like I've been saying, I feel like this Demilich deck, it looks like my opponent's playing like the list I've been working on. It's my opinion that the like role of the Demilich deck is to be good against the Rakdos and Darcy decks. It feels like that seems to be its position in the metagame. Oh, they don't get. Oh, they didn't have enough for their second Lich. Thought they did. Okay, so we can go Lurrus, Darcy, Unearth, Voidwalker. Really good turn. Slight return, 9 months. Welcome back. Appreciate ya. Do I want to draw a Terminate? I don't think so. Oh, maybe I should have attacked first, because if they block with their Darcy, I probably just wanted to unearth another. No, I guess Voidwalker is a bit better than Darcy. Thank you again, Slight Return. Appreciate ya. What is 1 land opponent doing? They lava darted to get their stuff back. That's why they only have 1 land. But they've also been missing some lands. Pyrite Spellbomb is in the sideboard to deal with creatures like a Sanctifier, Invac, Core Firewalker, and Ariok Champion that have protection from red. I don't think I can take 9. Oh, brutal. I was dead if I didn't block. I have to tag with Darcy. I think we need to surveil Kroxa into the yard. We do if we win. So if we do, we win. We did not. So now I think I'm just dead. Game 3. Let me cut the Void Mirror. Just bring another Thoughtseize. Go to play for game 3. It's a really weird hand. I think we keep. I think I'm gonna lead on discard on turn 1. They have 2 channelers. I'll take the Charter Course. Strand the You don't like Kroxa this matchup? I can't help but disagree. Kroxa's also, like, tell me what you would cut for Kroxa, because like every single one of these cards sucks. But Kroxa is not bad, I think. I think I'm actually pretty cool trading Ragavan for Darcy here. Like, I want them to trade, so I'm gonna dash. The next turn we can go Kolaghan's Command, kill the other Darcy, get back Ragavan. Nidora, 14 months, welcome back. Appreciate ya. Sack Voidwalker, cast Bolt, get another Surveil for look. Oh yeah, we could have done that. Yeah. They missed their land, which is good for us. Man, has been weird this match. Why no Graveyard Hate in the board? Because we have 4 Voidwalkers in the main deck. We have 4 main deck Graveyard Hate spells. I feel like they probably should have Cerebridge and done one, I don't know. They put 2 cards in the bottom. Maybe try to see if they drew Gut Shot. They did draw Gut Shot. Hell yeah. When I've had mana for Voidwalker cast the Bolt without paying the mana cost. Maybe just have cast the Ragavan. Not sure. I definitely don't want to cast the Dart and put it in their graveyard. Dauthi is so easy to remove compared to something like Spellbomb against Murktide and Phoenix decks and even the Mirror. I mean, you're not wrong, but it's also like if you have 4 main deck Voidwalkers, you don't, I think, need to play Graveyard Hate in the sideboard. Was my point. They put a card on top, so we're gonna dash Ragavan to try to get, you know, that out of there. Just take the bolts. I think of the D&T deck that won the Modern Prelim. I haven't seen it. I can be kind of bad about looking at deck lists, to be honest. Do I put Lurrus in my hand? I don't think so. Yeah, I get to play Lancer Control, which is nice. So like this deck or Blurred Monkey Regent personally, it's very close. I think that because of the prevalence of Hammer Time, I think this deck has like a very good Hammer Time matchup. And it's closer with the blue-red deck, so I would recommend this one. Oh, they found the Gut Shot. Well, I don't want to make them discard. Oh, I should have put Lurrus in my hand. Sorry. Guess we can just do that this turn. Lurrus in hand, cast Ragavan. Would have saved a mana. Oh, I guess I need this land, which I did. Turn 7, opponent found their second land. They discard Phoenix. Do they draw a Gut Shot? Or yeah, they have to have Gut Shot here. They've already played 2, so they don't have one here, it looks like. Nothing to get off of Lurrus, but we're 1 point short of burning them out. I guess Gut Shot wouldn't even be that good, we just replay it. We're 1 mana short of Kroxa. We can bolt them to get enough cards in the yard, but that's not quite enough. I guess this is kind of bad. Now they just get to discard Phoenix. Oh, we have enough cards to exile? What? Oh, we can Kroxa off Valeris. I guess I'll do that. Maybe this is gonna end up backfiring. It's fine. Discard salvaging. I mean, they're still very behind. We've got 5 points of burn. They're at 6. We've got Kroxa in the yard. Am I playing either of the two Jeskai Monkey deck I posted in Stream Decker this week? I don't know. I feel like I put this list together, and I did want to like just put it on the Stream Decker and maybe get chat's opinion on it, but I don't really, I think, believe in it. I think I could probably cut a land. We were talking about that earlier today. But I put this deck together. I thought it's kind of interesting to like be able to play Sanctum Prelate in a deck like this, but it's probably just not that good. The more I'm looking at it, I could maybe play Chalice over Prelate, so. All right, is this genius? I like Chalice over Prelate makes sense without the mana dorks. Okay, maybe I'll play this tomorrow. I'll try to play it off stream tonight. I don't know if I'll have time though. Right, no reason to bolt yet. I mean, Ragavan is kind of a mana dork, but not, you know, really, right? Oh, that's right. Sorry, Chalice. Sorry, that's right. Darcy lets you play the creatures, of course. Okay. Right, that's why I had it like that. Sorry. Well, Kroxa doesn't always deal damage, so they weren't dead on board. Interesting match. I think that matchup's pretty bad for us. Got kind of lucky that they had a pretty poor draw there. Like, Naya decks like are probably great in matchups like this, which is maybe a reason to play Naya. But you just, you know, do have a lot of like awkward matchups probably. Which is totally fine. We've been saying this a lot today, and I think I'm gonna put back Voidwalker on the draw. I've been saying this a lot today, and I really can't stress this enough. Like, in Modern, trying to beat everything is like, well, I wish I had the Voidwalker now. Trying to beat everything is a good way to just lose percentage points in matchups that actually matter. I haven't played against Titan in a long time. I feel like I could keep this. It's probably not going to be very good next turn. We try out Jerry's list, see if we can make improvements. I mean, I've been thinking about playing a Grixis version of this deck for a while. Again, I've said this about Jerry's list, but I think Jerry's playing way too many Snapcasters. I mean, I could just kind of pull up Jerry. I mean, I like Jerry T a lot. Jerry, like, I remember when I was first, like, when I was an up-and-comer, Jerry gave me this big shout-out. That was so cool. I can just like pretty quickly tell you what I changed about the list. Oof. Maybe I should have let on Thoughtseize first. I need to find Terminate or Unholy Heat, I think. Or another Thoughtseize for next turn. Or Kolaghan's Command. They have a lot of good draws. Yeah, I would play maybe 0 Snapcaster Mages and like 4th Drownalock, 4th Iteration, 4th Ragavan, and 2nd Kroxa is like just the immediate changes I would make. And I might actually cut the 4th Bolt for the 2nd Terminate. I don't know how good Seal of Removal is. I know Yindrik's been playing it. Seal of Removal might be good. Whoops. Seal of Removal might be good, but I would want to mostly try it out. I feel like I don't know that I would necessarily end up on it. I do like the look of the mana base. I think the mana's fine. I would also play Lantern over Spellbomb because living it is just, they're going to bring in Leyline of Sanctity against you if they're on it, and like that's, I think, common enough that you would want to have that. I think the rest of the sideboard is generally fine. I would no Alpine Moons I think is probably a mistake actually. Oh, they drew Bajuka Bog? Oh, I guess we lose. Yeah, would they just have Titan next turn? Okay. We just know they have Titan next turn. So that's my opinion on Jerry's deck. That's how I would build, you know, Grixis version of this deck, and this definitely looks cool. I think this is my sideboard plan. Grixis is just even more cold to graveyard interaction. It's like about as cold. I mean, we have like more Voidwalkers to get around it here, I guess. Yeah. Although Grixis has Drown in the Lock to like counter spells, you know? Double Voidwalker is good in this matchup, but without a discard spell, I think we probably can't keep. I like this hand well enough to keep. We're probably supposed to lead on Inquisition. To play around turn 1 Amulet. Oh no, I probably should have put back actually Bauble, not Darcy. It'd be fine. You consider Chalice first Amulet? I've thought about it. I think that like you could tell me what maybe you'd cut, but I have considered it, and then like in the past I haven't found Ruben like my sideboard plan for it. Alright, we'll take Amulet with this Inquisition, then Thoughtseize with the Dismember with the Thoughtseize and play out a Ragavan. Although they do have, that's an interesting draw. They have Grazer, but they don't have any green mana, so I think I'm supposed to go. Yeah, why didn't they play Castle on turn 1? Does this deck have a good Amulet matchup? I think it's very close. Like one big aspect of this matchup is Unholy Heat kills Titan for 1 mana. See, we've just had now, which is I think a huge reason why I think the matchup is fine. Exile a bounce land, which is actually really nice here. I think somewhat nice. Thoughtseize is really good to top deck to get to cast around Titan. Oh man, I need to be better at managing the window here. They have Castle Garenbrig, Primeval Titan, Mystery card. So I think I Alpine Moon the castles. Graveyard that for Delirium. Yeah, Voidwalker is also good against them too, for sure. I've been pretty impressed by Voidwalker. Does the blue-red variant have a better matchup against Titan? Probably a slightly better matchup, but blue-red has like a worse matchup against Hammer Time. It's all very close. Might need to kill that. Well, they don't definitely have a land for Titan next turn. I'll just go and take my draw step. Is Moon on the draw fast enough against Titan? Sometimes. Yeah, Blood Moon is like never bad against Titan. I agree with Fran. I don't think I've ever disagreed with Fran on anything. Alright, Unholy Heat should buy us enough time to win this game. We'll see what we draw here. Okay, Terminate definitely closes things out. If they draw a bounce land, I can kill Dryad in response to the trigger. Oh, Grazer can block. I forget about that. But then I can cast Grazer off Voidwalker. Retro Voidwalkers look pretty good. Alpine Moon is the nuts against Amulet. It used to not be very good against Amulet, but once Urza Saga came out, it started to become a good card. Oh wait, I was supposed to kill. I guess this puts them dead on board too because of the Ragavan. I was supposed to kill the Grazer maybe. All right, so I think that this is still how I like to sideboard against them. You could maybe make an argument to play like one Shattering Spree over like the third Inquisition. I guess Kolaghan's Command's a bit worse than the draw. I think I'm down for like the first spree on the draw. I haven't really liked Chalice very much against them, but I do think Chalice on 0 to stop a Summoner's Pact is, you know, interesting. But we also have, you know, Bauble, Zoo. Yeah, if they had played Garenbrick on turn 1, it would have been a very different game. I probably have to keep this, but it's like Inquisition's a lot worse than Thoughtseize in this matchup, and Ragavan can be very good, but it can also just get blocked by Grazer the whole game. But I think we have to keep. They also have Saga. Ugh, we don't have Alpine Moon. That's pretty bad. But if about Antonice, it's probably a playable card. My top card is Kroxa, which is pretty good. Do I want to fire off Inquisition? I guess so. I want a card in the yard for Kroxa. Inquisition's not getting too much better. Although I guess it had some game there against the T West, huh? Seems pretty bad no matter what, yeah. I don't know, if we just have Alpine Moon in our hand, if we took a mulligan, we drew Alpine Moon, all of a sudden our hand's like very good against theirs. But Kroxa can potentially win this game if they flood out a little bit. Because they don't currently have, their hand is Growth Chamber, Sanctuary, T-West, and they don't currently have necessarily enough blue. I guess they can play T-West first. That's right. Right. We do have Delirium for heat up this turn, but if we escape Kroxa, I mean, I guess what we're really hoping is maybe to be able to heat a Titan or Dryad this turn, and then next turn get to escape Kroxa and get them like Hellbent. Probably not too likely. Maybe we could draw Kolaghan's Commands, 2 damage, kill the Amulet, or 2 damage, kill the Construct. Maybe I just need to deal 4 damage to a construct, or 6 damage to a construct here. Escape Kroxa, and then they discard either their Titan or yeah. If they play Growth Chamber, so they play Growth Chamber, float mana, untap, transmute for Pact. They'll have 4 mana in play, discard, and then I think Kroxa keeps them off Titan for a turn. So I think I should heat here. Also have some top decks, right? Opponent should probably be in on fetching Saga, going in on that. Well, they have, I mean, maybe. Kroxa can beat that, I think. They got Bog. I guess maybe I could have blocked the Construct to like this, because maybe this ends up being a trade. Been a good game. You have to top deck pretty well. I'll trade Ragavan for the Construct here. We should have one more turn before we. Oh, they top deck Titan. Okay, fair enough. It's a 3-2 that league. We'll play at least one more, maybe 2 if we have time. Rakdos leagues tend to go kind of fast. Not a big winner in the treasure chest though. Maybe I should have mulliganed that.